Hey y'all, welcome to my first official YouTube video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all how to do a simplistic mouth tutorial. I'm just going to do it the easy way, nothing too crazy, just show y'all the basics of how to sculpt a mouth on your nail. So first things first, you're going to need a sculptor gel, which is I'm showing you here. And then you're going to need this silicone shaping tool. This is just so you can maneuver the gel around. And the gel that I'm using is clear, but you can easily customize this with any gel color. As you can see here, I mixed in some pink and some white gel to create the colors that I wanted. So let's get started. So first things first, you're just going to take a little bit of the white gel and you're just going to roll it into a little ball. These are going to be your teeth. So you want to size them however big you want your teeth is how big you're going to make the little balls. And you're just going to place them on the nail. Also, a little pro tip is if you can't get the gel to stick to the nail, you can just apply and cure a base coat. And as you can see here, I'm actually rolling the white into this little snake, and I'm going to cut off little pieces to be able to just have the portioned out pieces for the teeth, just to make it go by a little easier and faster. Also, I just want to disclaim y'all, if there's at any point where I go out of frame or my hands go out of frame, it's completely unintentional. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm still trying to, get all the good angles and maneuver everything, so just bear with me. Alright, now we got our top row done, and I did notice that the side teeth were a little bigger than I wanted, so I just took a little cuticle pusher and kind of cut the gel in half. And I did the same with the other side. I just actually ended up cutting off a whole piece completely because they were just a little bigger than I wanted. But now that the top row's done, we are going to do the same to the bottom. Alright y'all, now that the top and bottom teeth are placed, we are going to take our silicone tool and we are just going to start shaping the teeth. This is kind of the fun part to me because it's actually pretty easy. All you're really doing is pushing down and flattening out and shaping the little balls into the shape of the teeth you want. This part is obviously completely up to you. This is where you can make the teeth square, sharp, rounded, whatever. I'm just making them just like a basic square. And if at any point the gel starts to kind of combine together, you can obviously use the little flat part and kind of cut the teeth just to make the spaces proper. But yeah, you're just going to keep repeating this on the top and bottom. And you want to make sure that you kind of push up the teeth on the top a little bit elongated so that you can actually have room for the lips. Also had forgot to mention in the beginning that if you're handling any UV curing product, to please wear gloves because we do not want contact dermatitis or any allergy developments from this, because these are chemicals and you do not need to be handling these with your raw hands. So please wear gloves while you do this. Alright y'all, now once you have your desired teeth shape, now we're gonna cure and we're gonna get right into doing the lips. Alright, now we're gonna get into the lips, and I didn't mention it before, but having a tool like a cuticle pusher or anything like that just to help scoop and portion out the gel is obviously always recommended. It's a lot easier than just using your fingers. But now for the lips, what we're going to do is we are going to roll out this into a snake shape, because this is also a really easy part. And yes y'all, I dropped it on my table, don't mind that please. But now that I have my little snake, we are going to apply it to the top of the teeth. As you can see, y'all can see the vision, but you're gonna apply that to the top of the teeth. And then I'm just taking my cuticle pusher and I'm actually cutting off the excess because I did end up using a little bit too much, but that's not really a big issue. But it is recommended that you make sure that you use the right amount each time, just so you don't have to do any cleanup. And now I'm just taking that same silicone tool and I'm gonna start shaping the lips. You want to flatten out the lips, and you kind of want to drag them down a little bit over the teeth. That's also why I told y'all to make sure you elongate the top of the teeth, just so you can have more room for the lips. And then I'm taking the pointy part, as you saw, and I'm making the Cupid's bow, and I'm just shaping the lips. This part is obviously completely customizable and up to you. You can make the lip shape however you want. You can make them with a Cupid's bow or without one, but this is the part where you can just get creative and do you. All right, and once your top lip is done, now we're gonna get into the bottom lip. I know y'all saw me struggling right there. But now we're gonna get a little piece, and as you can see, the piece looks really small, but I'm telling y'all, with this gel, a little goes a long way. So we're gonna do the same method where we're just doing a snake, and then once we finish that snake, we're just going to apply it to the bottom row of teeth. Now once you finish applying your bottom lip, we're going to take that same silicone tool and we are going to shape and maneuver the bottom lip like so. And right here, y'all, is when I noticed that my bottom lip was just a little too boxy and square. So I just took my silicone tool and rounded it out at the corners just to give it more of a natural rounded mouth shape. So this part is completely optional, but I'm just taking my cuticle pusher and I'm actually drawing some lip lines into my lips just to give it a little bit more detail. And again, you don't have to do this. This is completely optional. However you want to design these lips is completely up to you. However much detail you add is completely up to you. But I'm just showing y'all kind of like the basics of what I do. I'm not adding too much detail to these lips just because, yeah, I'm just showing y'all the basics. Once I finished the lines, I went ahead and cured it for 60 seconds. And now I'm actually about to add some little embellishments, nothing too crazy. I'm just about to add a tooth gem. But this is the part where if you wanted to add lip liner or just other teeth embellishments, this is the part to do it at. So I'm just taking some rhinestone glue and I'm adding that to the tooth, and then I'm just going to apply my tooth gem. And here's what it's looking like. Super cute. So once you finish your embellishments, now we are going to go into top coating. So top coating any 3D design is going to take a little bit longer, especially if you want to maintain those details and crevices that you had created. So yeah, y'all are gonna see that it's taking me a little bit longer than normal top coating is, because you want to make sure you top coat like all over, but you also want to make sure that you're careful around any creases and details that you did sculpt, because you don't want the top coat to pool around those areas. And make sure anytime you apply rhinestones to nails that you top coat around the rhinestone and not on top of the rhinestone, because it really just takes away from the rhinestone design itself. So you want to make sure that you're a little patient and you just apply it around the area, just so you don't cover up and flood those beautiful ridges that the rhinestone already has. Alright y'all, now once you're finally done top coating, we are going to put this under the lamp for 60 seconds so that it can fully cure. And we are done. This is the finished look. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope this tutorial was actually really helpful for y'all. It was so fun to film and it was so fun to do. And I thank y'all so much for your support, and I will definitely be seeing y'all on my next video. Bye.